Utrgv-Tv is brought to you in part by the Distinguished Speaker Series, which will present Damon John, star of Shark Tank and Presidential Ambassador for Global Entrepreneurship at 7:30 p.m. Wednesday, March 7th in the Performing Arts Center on the Edinburgh campus. For more information, call 665-7364.
Welcome to this week's Utrgv-Tv edition. I am Jacqueline Arias.
And I'm Renata Cruz, and Utrgv-Tv starts now. And for our top story, the Utrgv community was able to participate in an active shooter training.
Our reporter Yuliana Quiroz joins us in the studio for the details.
Thank you, Jackie. The police department says that these trainings were not developed in direct response to the recent school shooting in Florida, but have been offered to the Utrgv community in the past.
I think there should be stricter laws on who can even own a gun.
It will be a good thing to bring up the age limit, but I mean, there's really no way to stop this.
I just feel there should be more background checks and what the person is going to use the gun for.
The highly controversial gun control debate has ignited once again in our university and all across the U.S. after the recent school shooting in Florida raised concerns of the possibility of an active shooter event on campus. Criminal justice sophomore Marisela Guzman says she would not be prepared for an incident like that of Florida to occur at Utrgv.
We would definitely not be prepared because we don't have any drills like that going on here. I mean, sure, we have the police department, but by the time they get here, the damage will have been done already.
In order to better prepare the Utrgv community for an event like that of Stoneman Douglas High School, the University Police Department offers the CRACE, or Civilian Response to Active Shooter Events training course.
The whole thing about the CRACE training is trying to teach them some techniques to buy some time. All you need to do is buy a couple of minutes till we get there.
Chief Officer Raul Munguia says that these trainings had already been offered before the Florida incident occurred.
This is a trend we've been seeing for years coming along, so that particular incident didn't cause us to react in any certain way. In viewing what's been happening with the shootings that have occurred throughout the nation, the past several years, we have been looking at them and trying to learn from them, trying to see what are some of the things we can do to mitigate, what's occurring.
The training course teaches how civilians could effectively respond to an active shooter on campus through different techniques and provides a video analysis of past active shooter events. The next training will be announced in March, but can also be requested by students, faculty, and staff. Guzman says that she was not aware about the opportunity of attending a CRACE training and feels it should be a mandatory course for all students.
I actually did not know that to begin with, and so I think that it should be a requirement, I think, at every school and college.
Chief Officer Raul Munguia says that meetings are currently taking place for a staged school shooting to occur in December. We will have that story as soon as more information becomes available to us. For now, reporting in the studio for Utrgv-Tv, I'm Yuliana Quiroz.
Thank you, Yuli. A South Padre Island event venue is under fire on social media after booking a rapper who pled guilty to 3 felony counts of sexual misconduct.
Our reporter Ileana Moreno went out to get the story.
Every year, minors and college students alike come to South Padre Island to relieve the stress of academic life. One of the island's most popular venues, Clayton's Beach Bar and Grill, recently has been accused of purposely endangering minors after booking a rapper who pled guilty to videotaping sexual acts with a minor. Clayton's annual spring break party has drawn in attendees and performers for years, but this year, performing with names like Post Malone and Future, the venue booked Daniel Hernandez, or Tekashi 69, who pled guilty to 3 counts of use of a child in a sexual performance.
Well, I'm not too sure what the situation was, but I did hear a little bit about it. So I think that Clayton supporting what had happened with Tekashi 69 isn't morally correct.
Clayton's addressed the issue on Facebook, where they said that they support the arts, however do not condone any artist misconduct on and off the stage, and then promoted a meet and greet with the rapper.
And there's so many young girls that go to spring break now, so if he's going to be performing there at Clayton's, I don't know, I feel like it's making it a less good environment for them to be there.
Disapproving comments of the performer have been circulating social media, to which Clayton's Facebook account responds, "See you at the show."
It wouldn't be good to be represented that way as the Valley, because they would know that we in this area supported him after what he's done.
Although many venues have canceled their shows with the rapper, Clayton's Beach Bar and Grill continues to have Tekashi 69 as one of their headliners for their spring break party in March. We reached out to Clayton's, but they were unavailable for comment. From South Padre Island, for UTRGV-TV, this is Ileana Moreno.
For Black History Month, the South Texas College Lecture Series brought Dr. Marsha Walker McWilliams to tell the story of Reverend Addie Wyatt, the influential African-American labor leader, in her new book. I went out to bring you this story. At the South Texas College Pecan Campus Library on Wednesday, Dr. Marsha Walker McWilliams from Rice University shared the untold story of Reverend Addie Wyatt, the civil rights activist and labor leader, after a decade-long journey of writing her new book.
On one occasion, Wyatt recalled company men taunting her, "Now we're going to have a beauty pageant," to which she responded, "Brains as well. Dumbness isn't necessarily an ingredient of femininity." So she often kind of had to call people out for really kind of stereotyping her and underestimating her abilities. She had to do so as an African American and also as a woman.
Dr. Walker McWilliams' journey with Addie Wyatt began when she was an undergraduate student and had to write a paper for history class, and she used her mother, a union worker, as inspiration to study women in the workplace. When writing her dissertation for her PhD, she knew she had to continue studying and writing about Addie Wyatt to make her activism known and to inspire anyone who reads it.
Because people are often inspired by other people. And so if you have stories, if you have experiences, if you have perspectives of others, it's very often a motivating drive, right? Because sometimes people think, oh, well, I can't do that, or I can't tackle that, or that issue's too big. But if they at least know that others tried, or that others have laid part of the groundwork to do so, I feel it's a motivating factor for others. So I always like to tell stories about people that will inspire other people.
Eduardo Valleza, a sophomore at SCC, said he enjoyed learning about Wyatt's experiences and story.
I think it was very interesting. A lot of information that was given out by Ms. Marsha. Very captivating. A lot of information that was really, really thoughtful on my part. Like makes you think like, what's going on and what she was trying to do. To have a voice for those who trying to learn from a perspective from a different person and what they went through.
Dr. Walker McWilliams' farewell message was, if you have a story to tell, share that voice. For UTRGV-TV, I'm Jacqueline Arias.
For many years, women have been underrepresented in many industries. Now, UTRGV's theater department is addressing the issue. I spoke to the department's interim chair for more on the story.
Having been in the business for many years, David Karen shares his experience within his theater career and working with women in the workplace.
I remember I never worked on a staff that didn't have a fair representation of women. Perhaps not women showrunners. In fact, I don't think I ever worked for a woman showrunner, worked with a woman showrunner in my time in the business. I do know that's started to change.
Former students trying to make a career in theater are now encountering the hardships of what it is to be a woman in the business.
They ask more roles for males sometimes, and as a woman, I would like to be able to have that kind of voice to be able to, especially as a Hispanic woman, even more so, I think underrepresentation is alive in the film industry and the theater industry, and if it is positions or roles to get, it's stereotypes as far as like maids or the sassy Latina, and that's not what we are. I mean, that's obviously a stereotype.
Current theater majors vision a future where the margin between men and women are equal.
We should be more fearless and careless about what men in society would think. That way, it can create more like a domino effect, and more women would rise up and take courage to do so.
The theater department at UTRGV is looking to have equal representation by involving more women in its faculty and staff. For UTRGV-TV, I am Renata Cruz.
The Oscar Mayer Weinermobile is back at UTRGV.
That's right, Renata. They are committed to select one UTRGV student into their program. Our reporter, Kenya Gomez, has the details.
They are committed to recruiting at least one UTRGV grad like myself. Last year we actually got 2, so that was pretty great for us. So we're looking for a vaquero who is flexible, trustworthy, someone who loves to travel and loves people.
I actually heard about it 2 years ago when they were on campus recruiting, so I decided that finally I'm graduating, so it's a good shot for me to try to go and see how this would go for me. Really excited to be able to come out and see if I can get this opportunity.
It's a great opportunity for people to do this, and so even if you're not a graduating senior this year, come back next year. We love personable people who love to travel again, like I mentioned, and so try it next year. Maybe you'll cut the mustard.
In other news, the university's literary and arts magazine, Gallery, is accepting a variety of works. Our reporter, Yuliana Luna, spoke with the magazine's advisor for more on Gallery's publication.
For more than 30 years, a literary and arts magazine made its first publication in 1979 at the University of Texas Pan American. It all started with a faculty member by the name of Jan Seal, who gave the annual magazine a name.
Gallery is our student literary arts magazine, so we take all the work, the creative writers, and the artists, visual artists, photographers, just anything we can get our hands on, and we put it all together, and the editors.
The magazine's editorial board is made up of students currently enrolled at UTRGV. Although this may seem unusual, the students give a fair shot at every work submitted.
It's a fair process, and so people should just trust us, to read your work carefully and to give it a shot. And really, there's nothing to lose.
A contributing writer in the MFA program, Sergio de Leon, has been published 5 times since Gallery's 2016 publication. He's written various works on poetry, autobiographical, and nonfiction.
This one is from here. It's from our school. It's exciting to be a part of, and what they do with the magazine is just pretty incredible. Like taking in the artwork, the pictures, the words. Just keep writing, and don't be afraid of throwing it in there. Don't be afraid of throwing it in the pocket.
Gallery is only accepting work from students attending either UTRGV campus. The deadline to submit work is March 20th on gallery.submittable.com. For more information, visit the eLab South, room 125 at the Edinburgh campus. Reporting for UTRGV-TV in Edinburgh, I am Yuliana Luna.
Here's Daniel Galvan with this week's UTRGV Sportscast.
Hello everyone, my name is Daniel Galvan. I'm back again with another UTRGV Sportscast, and it's a jam-packed edition of the show. We got baseball talk, basketball talk, birds and the bees talk, but first, let's talk about the biggest story of the year. Somebody lit up the letters VGRTU in the parking lot of the school. What does VGRTU mean? I don't know. I'm just a serious journalist. I don't know, but all I know is the word is pronounced VGRTU. Seriously though, it was homecoming week here at UTRGV, so we lit up the letters of the school in front of a crowd of over 15 students, and it was magical. UTRGV is just like Texas A&M, but with more school spirit. Instead of gig 'em, we say big dumb, as in getting our own football team is a big dumb idea. Anyways, homecoming week was a great week for the men's basketball team, as they welcomed a super consistent Chicago State team to the Fieldhouse and beat the Panthers 83-75. The Vaqueros outscored Chicago State. Obviously they won, but it was in the first half they did good, and in the second half they put up 50 points. UTRGV was led by senior Nick Dixon, who's from Chicago. He had 23 points. He made 12 free throws. He's really good at basketball. And the team has one more game this Saturday. They take on a tough New Mexico State team. New Mexico State, that's a bit redundant of a name. Imagine if there was a school in Texas called Texas State. Oh boy, wouldn't that be a party. While the men's team won at home, the women's team traveled to Chicago, chewed gum at Wrigley Field, visited the Chicago Riverwalk, and realized San Antonio's was better. The smell is much worse. And they also beat Chicago State 69-62. Cynthia Sampson was the big leader in this game with 21 points to go, with 10 rebounds and 10 letters in her first name. The baseball team's season is also underway. The team got off to the right foot. They won their first 4 games in the Al Ogletree Classic against Stephen F. Austin and Central Michigan and Stephen F. Austin. They would then go on to drop 3 of their next 4 against A&M Corpus Christi and the University of Illinois Chicago. And their next games are this week. By the time you're watching this, they've already happened, as they play Mississippi State on Monday. That's a really good team. And Texas Tech on Tuesday. That's also a really good team. They're playing those games in Edinburgh, I believe. And then they close out the week at Lamar in a series. And UTRGV baseball. Baseball, really cool sport. Reporting for UTRGV-TV, I'm Daniel Galvan.
And for this week's Spotlight of the Month, our assistant station manager sat down with the highly esteemed UTRGV professor, Stefanie Herweck.
And for this week's Spotlight of the Month segment, I have the pleasure of introducing to you Miss Stefanie Herweck. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
My pleasure.
She is a UTRGV professor. She graduated from the University of Wisconsin with a master's in English. Her areas of expertise are environmental studies, and she teaches rhetoric and composition 1 and 2. So, thank you again for being here with us today.
Sure.
And I just wanted to ask you, what brought you to have that interest in environmental studies, yet you did study English, correct?
Yeah. Well, actually, my interest in the environment stems from my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
When I was growing up, we didn't have a lot of money. My parents were from a rural background, so they sort of thought of nature as something for us to do. And that, I think, helped me develop a relationship with nature.
Mm-hmm.
And when I grew older, and I started to recognize the ways in which we are not treating nature with respect, that we're actually destroying these special places. It's really about us raising our voices together in order to save these special places and to maintain clean air and clean water and a healthy ecosystem for the rest of the species that we share the planet with.
So, tell us more about what you do here on campus as an advisor of the Environmental Awareness Club and as a editor to the Echo Rio.
So for the Environmental Awareness Club, I feel like I'm really just their cheerleader. They are one of the most active clubs on campus, the Environmental Awareness Club. They host the only and first farmers market on campus once a month each semester, which is just an amazing event that really pulls people together around eating fewer meat products, eating organic food. And what a lot of people don't know is that the students actually, in order to get the produce that they sell, they actually go and help local farmers harvest the produce. Another thing that the Environmental Awareness Club does is they put on a climate march for the entire community, and hundreds of people attend. They've been doing this for about 4 years now, and it's a wonderful inspirational event that allows people to come together and share their concerns about climate change and express hope for the future. In terms of what we can do to address climate change here locally and on a national level.
Okay, and so as the editor of Echo Rio, what do you do? What is your role there?
We're really excited about the launch of Echo Rio. This is a multimedia, peer-reviewed online journal about environmental studies in the Rio Grande Valley. What we want to do is showcase the tremendous amount of environmental work that's going on here in the Valley. So what we want to do is bring these voices and this view together and give not only our students but also faculty, staff, and members of the community an opportunity to participate in a peer-reviewed publication process, but also to get these messages and these sort of untold stories out there.
You serve on the executive committee of the Lower Rio Grande Valley Sierra Club. What is your role?
What I do on the executive committee is I try to use my skills in writing and research to help get the message out. As you probably know, we are in a pretty smaller media market, and so you know, our local journalists don't always have all of the resources that they need to get messages out to the community. And so I try to get those messages across in the forms I have through my blog, which is Valley Green Space, and through some of the writing that I do for these for the newspapers that we have.
One last question for you. How does it make you feel to be so admired by so many students here on campus? Because I did reach out to several of your students, and they nominated you to be our Spotlight of the Month.
Wow.
So could you tell us more about how that makes you feel?
Well, I believe that college should inspire people. I think that it's really your last best opportunity to spend time thinking about what you think and why you think that way. And so I really set out to make my courses and my work here at the university as transformative as I can. I want students to have a space for them to consider all of these things and to think about what kind of changes that they would like to make in the world.
Thank you so much again for being here with us today and as a part of Utrgv-Tv. It's great that we get to interview somebody that really makes an impact here in our university and out there in the community.
Thank you so much, Yuliana.
This is our Spotlight of the Month.
That's all we have for you today. But remember, if you have a story you would like for us to know about, or know someone within the Utrgv family that's making a big or small change in the community or on campus,
you can contact us through social media or email us at utrgvtv@gmail.com. We have community and Utrgv news for you every week. See you next time.